Hello students, so we are back again with a new chapter today, chapter 4, geography chapter 4, and the topic is climate. So we were already studying about the land, the physical features of the land, and water bodies, the river, the lakes, all that. And the third important factor about this earth is climate. Climate means the temperature of the place, the rain that they receive, the humidity that they have. All these are part of climate. So let us see about climate in this lesson. How is the climate, especially with regard to India? What is the climate that we experience? What is climate? Is it too extreme or is it moderate? And so we shall see. So take your textbook, geography, lesson number 4 and page number 26. So in the previous chapter, as I said, we have already studied about the landforms, the mountains, the hills, the valleys, the plain, the peninsular plateau, the highlands. All these we have studied. Then we also studied about just in the chapter 3 about the drainage system, the river, the lakes, the seas, all that. Now in this lesson we are going to study about the climate. So we may ask, what is climate? Sometimes we experience too cold, especially in the December, November, January and so. Then we wear woolen clothes so that our body will become more warm. And when the April, May comes, it becomes very warm, and then we start wearing cotton clothes because that will reduce the heat. So that way, according to the climate conditions, climate seasons, we change our living situation as well. So what is this climate? The question is, what is the climate? So we often say climate, but exactly what is climate? So climate refers to the sum total of weather conditions. Sum total of weather conditions. That means all types of weather, not just one weather alone. It is not just a hot season alone or not cold season alone, but all the type of weather condition that we experience in a place over a large area for a long period of time, not just in one point. What is temperature here? How much is the temperature? So not just in one pocket or place, but a large area, and also for over a long period of time. For example, it is more than 30 years. So let's take the example of this district, Lower Subansiri district. And so what is the climate experience here for the last 30 years? How much is the heat? How much is the cold? So temperature is it very high, is it very low, or is it going below minus, below 0, and so on. So all these are defined as climate. So let's see what is climate again. So climate is the sum total of weather conditions, subtotal of weather conditions over a large area for a large period of time, that is more than 30 years. So one year sometime maybe it may be too hot, another year it may be too cold. So we cannot just say, oh, this is the climate of this place. So we have to observe for many years, at least for 30 years we have to observe, and then we say this is the climate condition of this place. Otherwise, just 1 year we had a little more heat or more cold, and so we cannot say this place is very hot or this place is very cold. So we have to observe for 30 years, then we can make that statement, or we can make the judgment that the climate of this place is like this. Then we said some total of weather conditions. Now let's see what is weather. So weather refers to the state of the atmosphere, whether refers to the state of the atmosphere over an area at any point of time. So when we calculate the weather, we just calculate the climatic condition of or the atmosphere and the state of atmosphere over one point for a period of time, for a point of time, any point of time. So when we say weather, today we can say today's weather is like that. We cannot say today's climate is like that. Climate means it should be for many years. But when we speak about weather, we can say today's weather is cloudy, today's weather is rainy, today's weather is cold. So we can speak about weather for a just a point of time. We can say about today morning's weather is like that, today afternoon weather is like that. We can speak about a point of time. But when we talk about climate, it should be for over a long period of time, over a large area. I hope you understood what is weather and what is climate. So climate is referred to as for a long period of time, that is over 30 years of time. Then it is also for a place for a large area. But when we refer to the weather, we are not talking about the large area because the weather can be different from place to place and one point of time. So morning can be one weather, afternoon can be another weather. So weather is referred to in a short area, small area for a point of time. But climate is referred to for a large area and for a large over a long period of time. Then the elements of weather and climate are the same. So what is the element of weather and climate? We can say they are same. So that is, what are the things or what are the elements to calculate this weather and climate? We can say they are the temperature, then atmospheric pressure, then wind, humidity and precipitation. These are the elements of climate or weather. They are same. That is, say once again you can underline also the elements of climate and temperature are temperature, atmospheric pressure and wind, humidity and precipitation. Precipitation means rainfall. These are the elements in order to decide the climate of a place. Then, and you might have observed, I am sure, that the weather conditions are fluctuating. It is not same throughout. Morning may be one weather, afternoon may be another weather. One place when you go, it may be raining there. And if you travel and reach another place, you will find there is nice sunshine. There was no rain at all. So the weather conditions are not same everywhere. Then, but there is some common pattern over a few weeks or months. But if you observe for few weeks and few months, then you will find there is some common phenomenon are there. That is, days are cool or hot. So if you observe for many days, you will find the days are cool. When do you find the days are cool? It is in the winter, is it not? Then days are hot. When do they become hot? In the summer season. So during the winter, days are cold, and during the summer, days are hot. Then it is windy or calm. Sometimes it is windy, sometimes it is calm. So which season it is windy? Usually in the summer season it is windy, and the winter it is very calm. Then cloudy or bright. So mostly in the winter season it is cloudy, no much sun, but in the summer season it is very bright. Or wet or dry. So again, in the winter season usually it is dry, there is no much rain, but in the summer season there is rain, so it can be wet. And on the basis of the generalized monthly atmospheric conditions, the year is divided into seasons such as winter, summer or rainy season. So depending or observing these situations, these conditions like dry season or wet season, or like the cloudy or sunny, so we can divide our climatic condition or season into two seasons. One is winter season, another one is summer season, or summer season also can have another name, rainy season. So which are the seasons? Winter season and summer season, or rainy season, summer or rainy. Then the world is divided into a number of climatic regions. So if you go to the whole world, travel from one side of the earth to the another side, you will be passing through different regions, and you will find different places have got different climates, different temperatures are there. Then do you know what type of climate India has got and why so? So we said different parts of the world has got different type of climates, and India, what is the climate that India has got? Can anyone of you say what is the type of climate that India has got? So the climate that India has got is known as monsoon type of climate. So remember, can remember the name of the type of climate that India has got. It is monsoon type. And that's a little GK is there. Do you know? So the word monsoon is derived from Arabic word mausim, which literally means season. So you can underline that also. The word we said we have the monsoon climate, and this monsoon is coming from an Arabic word which means season. Mausim means literally means season. And monsoon refers to the seasonal reversal in the wind direction during the year. So we call it monsoon. It is based on the wind direction, reversal of the wind direction. So the direction the wind was blowing, it is changed during this season. The direction of the wind is changed and it is entering into India. It is blowing towards India. That is the change of direction. Then it goes to India, then it starts reversing. It is going back to, so it starts from south and goes up to north, then comes back and again going back to the south. So this wind reversal, that is also called monsoon. So the climate of India is described as monsoon. So as we have already said, the type of climate that India has got is called monsoon climate. And this type of climate is found mainly in the south and the Southeast Asia. So not only India has got this monsoon type of climate, but most of the countries in South Asia, they have this climate. South Asia and Southeast Asia, they have got this same type of climate as India has got. And despite an overall unity in the general pattern, there are petty precipitatory regional variations in the climatic conditions within the country. So we said India has got this monsoon type of climate, and in spite of having this monsoon type of climate throughout our country, we realize the amount of precipitation that we receive throughout India is not same. The amount of precipitation means rainfall. So throughout India we are not receiving the equal amount of rainfall. There is a lot of variety is there, lot of difference is there in the way we receive rainfall. Let's see. So in summer, so let us take two important elements. that is temperature and precipitation, and examine how they vary from place to place or from season to season. So if you take two elements, one is the temperature, another one is the rainfall, precipitation. So if you examine throughout our country, for example in South India, how is the temperature there, or how is the rainfall there, or we go to North India, how much temperature they experience, how much rainfall they receive, or we go to the east or west, anywhere we go to different regions of India and we see what is the difference in temperature, what is the difference in rainfall, and so on. So in the summer season, the mercury occasionally touches 50 degrees Celsius in some parts of the Rajasthan desert, whereas it may be around 20 degrees Celsius in Jammu and Kashmir. So when we consider about the temperature of the country, we go to Rajasthan, and that is one of the hottest places in India. So in the summer in Rajasthan, the temperature is reaching up to 50 degrees Celsius. So that is very hot. So we remember, if you boil the water, it starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. So this is Rajasthan is experiencing 50 degrees Celsius. That means if you give water, it will become half boiled. So much of temperature is there. But if you go to Jammu and Kashmir in summer, the temperature is only just 20 degrees Celsius. That is somewhat the zero's temperature. In zero also now we experience 20 degree Celsius. So much of difference. One place it is 50, another place it is only 20. Then on a winter night, temperature at Dras in Jammu and Kashmir may be as low as minus 45 degree. So in the winter, if you go to Jammu and Kashmir, you will find the temperature is minus 45. So at 0 degree, the water will turn out to be ice. So it becomes minus 45. So you can imagine the hardness of the ice, the thickness of the ice that will be. All the water, all the liquid will turn into ice there. But at that time, if you go to Trivandrum, what happens? The temperature may be 20 degrees Celsius. So some places it is so cold, and some places it will be so hot. Some places it will be raining, some places it will be less raining, and so on. So it is to show that from one side of the earth, India, to another side, there is a lot of differences there in temperature, in climate, and so on. And again there is a little bit of GK is there. Do you know? In certain places, there is a wide difference between day and night temperatures. So some places there's a lot of differences there in the temperature. For example, if you go to the Thar desert, Thar desert, in the day temperature may rise up to 50 degrees Celsius. As I said, in the case of Rajasthan, if you go to this Thar desert also, we will find the temperature is reaching up to 50 degrees Celsius and drop down to near 15 degrees Celsius in the same night. So during the day it will be 50 degrees Celsius, and during the night it becomes very low, only 15 degrees Celsius. So during the day it is so hot, and night it will be very cold. And on the other hand, there is hardly any difference in day and night temperature in Andaman and Nicobar Islands and in Kerala. But if you go to Nicobar and Andaman Islands or in Kerala, you will find the temperatures are same during the day and night. There is no much difference. There may be a little bit of difference may be there, but not as different as in Rajasthan or in the desert regions. So here the day and night temperatures are same in the South India, but the Thar desert, the temperature during the day is very high, and during the night it is very low. So that is why we say there is so much of difference in temperature from place to place. Then let us now see about precipitation. the rainfall in our country, how much rainfall is there in different parts. That is what we are going to see. So we see there are variations not only in the form and types of precipitation, but also in the amount and the seasonal distribution. So the way there is rainfall in different parts of the country, they are not same. There are some places receive more rainfall, some places receive very less rainfall, and so on. So it is not the same. So while precipitation is mostly in the form of snowfall in the upper parts of the Himalayas, so the upper part of the Himalaya, how do they get precipitation? There is no rainfall, but they have snowfall. Water is falling down in the form of snow. Snowfall is there. So wherever the temperature is very low, wherever the region is very high, instead of rainfall, they will be receiving snowfall. So in Kashmir also, the Himalaya areas, they receive this snowfall. Then it rains over the rest of the country, but other places or other parts of the country is not so cold, and therefore they receive rainfall, while Jammu and Kashmir, especially the Himalayan region, they receive snowfall. And the annual precipitation varies from over 400 centimeter in Meghalaya to less than 10 centimeter in Ladakh and western Rajasthan. So in Meghalaya they receive more rainfall. They receive in a year 400 centimeter. So 400 centimeters of rain water they can collect in a year. While if you go to Ladakh region or Rajasthan desert region, they receive only very just 10 centimeter. So see the difference. In Meghalaya they receive 400 centimeters of rain, and in Rajasthan they receive only just 10 centimeters of rainfall. And you may ask how to measure water in centimeters. So in order to measure the rainfall, we need to collect the rainwater for a year in a container or in a test tube. So keep a long vessel somewhere in an open ground, so that when there is rain, water will directly fall into it. So then keep for 1 year. Then at the end find out how much water is there. So water is there. So how many centimeters long we have to identify. So places like Meghalaya, they receive average rainfall of 400 centimeters. That means the container should be very high if you want to measure there. And if you are living somewhere in Rajasthan, then you need only a small test tube, only maximum 10 or 20 centimeters enough. So different areas receive a different amount of rainfall. Then most part of the country receive rainfall from June to September. So in our country, in most of the parts, we receive rainfall from June to September. That is the time that we receive rainfall. So this is the time now we receive this monsoon rain in our country. But then some parts of India like Tamil Nadu and so on, or the coastal regions, they receive rainfall even during October, November and so on. So most of the parts in India, they receive rainfall between June to September, but some areas like Tamil Nadu and other coastal regions, they receive rainfall during October to November. Then in general, coastal areas experience less contrast in temperature conditions. So we can say the coastal regions, we said the example of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, there is during the day and during the night temperature is somewhat same. So it is because of the presence of the sea, the coastal area. The sea is regulating the temperature. And seasonal contrasts are more in the interior of the country. But as region to move into inside the country, the contrast begins. Night is very cold and the day is very hot. It is becoming more difference is there between the temperatures, between day temperature and night temperature and so on. Then there is decrease in rainfall generally from east to west in the northern plains. So if you reach up to northern plains, we have already studied about the northern plain just below the Himalayas, and if you reach up to these northern plains, we will find the rainfall is becoming less and less from as we move from west to east to west. So east there is more rainfall, and as we move to the west, what happens? The rainfall is less. Then these variations have given rise to variety in lives of the people. So as the rainfall is less some places and some places it is more, therefore people begin to adjust their lifestyles according to these climatic conditions. So people where there is a high temperature live in one situation, where people live in cold place they live in another condition. We cannot live with the same situation, same condition in these both places. They need different situations. And so the food that they eat, the dress that they wear, and the houses that they make, all these will be different according to the climate in which they are living. We know the hot place where the people live, their dresses, their houses all will be particularly suiting for that situation. And people who live in the cold region, they make house in another way, and they will be living wearing another type of dress. They'll be living in totally different situations. So because of the climate conditions and because of the amount of rainfall that we receive in different parts of India, it is varying from place to place, and therefore people also have got different life situations, life occasions and so on. So we shall wind up for today, and next class we will study more about the climate conditions of our country. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.